Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here and welcome back to some more Magic Arena gameplay. This week we're going to be taking a look at a Grixis Dragons deck, which is basically a mid-range deck with some dragon synergies in it. And on this one I'm going to be doing it semi-blind. The matches I play in this video will be the very first matches that I have played with this deck. I'm having to record this week a bit ahead of schedule due to some family things that will be happening, and as such, I haven't been able to put in the testing time that I normally like to. A real-life friend of mine shipped me this list, and looking at other lists out there, it's in a similar vein, so I said, sure, let's give it a try. I mean, who doesn't like casting dragons, right? And in a dragon deck, the obvious place to start is with the dragons, right? First up, we have Bolas the Ravager, a card with roughly 10,000 words on it. A 4/4 flyer for 1, a blue, a black, and a red that says, when Bolas the Ravager enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Also, for 4, a blue, a black, and a red, we can exile Bolas the Ravager, then return him to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So, a 4/4 flyer for 4 that makes your opponent discard a card is really good all on its own. If it resolves, it will be at least a 2 for 1 since it already eats a card from the opponent's hand, if they have any cards in hand at least. But if we get to flip it, the backside is even more ridiculous, becoming Bolas the Arisen, a planeswalker with 7 starting loyalty whose abilities are +2, draw 2 cards, -3, Bolas the Arisen deals 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker. -4, put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control so you can steal your opponent's things as well. And -12, exile all but the bottom card of target player's library. Yeah, pretty strong. I'm not sure a deck yet exists that can properly take advantage of Bolas's full potential, but maybe this one can. We shall see. Next, we have format staple Glorybringer and relative newcomer Demanding Dragon. Glorybringer being the same force to be reckoned with that it always is, being a hasty 4/4 flyer for 5 that can also exert to kill your opponent's pesky creatures. And for the same cost, Demanding Dragon gives us a 5/5 flyer that gives the opponent a choice of either sacrificing one of their own creatures or taking 5 to the dome. Generally, Punisher effects, as these kinds of choices are sometimes known, are considered to be very bad, as they allow your opponents to always choose the effect that is least detrimental to them. However, with Demanding Dragon, no matter what your opponent chooses, you still end up with a 5/5 flyer, so maybe it will prove the exception to that old rule. Moving right along with the dragon theme, we have Sarkhan Fireblood. For 1 and 2 red, we have a planeswalker with 3 starting loyalty, whose abilities are +1, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Also +1, add 2 mana in any combination of colors, spend this mana only to cast dragon spells. And -7, create 4 5/5 red dragon creature tokens with flying. Sarkhan is a card that I'm kind of uncertain of in the deck. He doesn't seem very good to me at first look. Planeswalkers that can't protect themselves have not been great traditionally, but a lot of these dragon decks are running him, so hopefully he'll prove me wrong today. And now, on to the non-dragon creatures in the deck. We have Scrapheap Scrounger as an early threat with recursive ability, Goblin Chainwhirler to clean up pesky X1s and also be great on both offense and defense thanks to First Strike, and Pianalar to allow us to go a bit wide and also give us a bit of added ability to push through extra damage via pumping artifact creatures or making an opposing creature unable to block until end of turn. The rest of the deck is all removal. Magma Spray for early threat removal, and the exile effect is also super relevant with recursive threats running around. Abrade to deal with both creatures and artifacts. Unlicensed Disintegration kills just about everything in the format and can additionally net us a bit of extra damage if we happen to have an artifact on board. Cut to Ribbons and Banefire both serve double duty as removal and a potential finisher. And in the case of Banefire, if it's dealing 5 or more damage, the opponent will be hard-pressed to stop it, as it can't be countered or prevented, though an effect like Commit can still delay it a bit, as it doesn't actually counter the spell. And finally, the Eldish Reborn allows us to attack our opponent's board and hand, and brings back the scariest threat that exists in either graveyard. Our mana base is warped a bit by the need to have triple red on turn 3, so you'll notice that all of our lands except for 2 are able to produce red mana. First up, Canyon Slough and Fetid Pools let us have all of our check lands come into play untapped, and we can cycle them away later in the game if we need to. We're also running 4 each of Dragon Skull Summit and Sulphur Falls, 3 Spire Bluff Canal, and 2 Ether Hub. And in the basic land department, we have 7 Mountain and 1 Swamp. In the sideboard, we have 2 Chandra's Defeat to help deal with red creatures and planeswalkers. Against aggro in general, we have an additional Cut to Ribbons and a Spit Flame, which plays nicely into the deck's dragon synergies, allowing us to have a bit of recursive removal. Hour of Glory can come in against a variety of decks, depending on what they have. It's a great answer to Hazoret, the Scarab God, and Galta, among other things. Also, an extra copy of the Eldest Reborn for mid-range matches, and some control matchups that are heavy on planeswalkers or big creatures in the late game. For control in general, we have Duress and Argyl's Bloodfast to pick apart the opponent's hand and draw ourselves extra cards. Angrath the Flame-Chained and Liliana Death's Majesty help us to attack from multiple angles when we're siding out a lot of our creature removal. And Jace's Defeat gives us a hand versus blue decks, as it not only counters all of their counters, it also allows us to stop their creatures from sticking as well. And that, my friend, is the deck list. Let's play some games. Okay. Well, I would really like to have a third land, especially when producing blue, but I think we're going to keep this, as if we hit any third land, we can play Sarkhan and then maybe start chaining off our dragons. Highland Lake from the opponent. Well, there's blue. That's awesome. Lead with the Canyon Slough, so all of our check duels will come into play untapped. Maybe... Ooh, okay, so maybe an improvised deck? That is cool. Well, we'll play out, actually, Sulphur Falls here. We'll go ahead and pass the turn. We may abrade something. I guess we could have abraded the Puzzle Knot, but we haven't seen white mana from them yet. Alright, so looking like Grixis Improvise here. A Maverick Thopterist, huh? Alrighty. I guess we'll go ahead and kill that. Just in an attempt to make our Sarkhan live here. Another Canyon Slough. Well, we're certainly going to play out Sarkhan this turn and hope he survives. And we will go ahead and rummage. And we'll discard this Unlicensed Disintegration. Another Canyon Slough. Oh, well. Well, next turn we can certainly play a dragon if Sarkhan lives. Alright, all 3 of the Thopters look like... Well, that's a servo, but all 3 of these seem to be going at Sarkhan. Hopefully they don't have one more point here.
You want to fight?
Looks like they don't. So, let's go ahead and make some mana.
They are coming.
We'll make red-blue. Play out... We could play Demanding Dragon. I think Nicol Bolas forcing them to discard is just better, though, even though it's not quite as mana efficient. Alright, that resolves. Let's see what they discard. Just a land. Okay, so we're going to play Spire Bluff Canal, because we may want to start cycling these just depending on how things go from here on out. And if they want to kill Sarkhan here, they certainly can. We can only block one of these. If they kill Nicol Bolas, we're not too upset as we just play the other one. Alright, they're going at Sarkhan again. We'll block one of the flyers. Bye-bye to Sarkhan. He helped us out. Soaked up a lot of damage, too. If we could draw a Chain Whirler, that would be awesome. Looks like they may be killing Nicol Bolas. Sure. Feel like we're grinding against this deck pretty effectively right now. They do have an Inventor's Fair out, so that could be an issue for us. Let's go ahead and play Nicol Bolas, get rid of that last card in their hand. Unless it's a counterspell. Alright, I mean, it still got rid of it. We just didn't end up with a nickel Bolas, so we'll play our Canyon Slough. Next turn we can play Demanding Dragon. Alright, going to be taking some damage now. Hopefully we can out-top deck our opponent at this point. Scrap Heap Scrounger's not particularly exciting. Let's go ahead and play our Demanding Dragon. See what they choose here. Looks like they're going to sacrifice a servo. And again, I'm just going to hold this in case we want to cycle it. We did want to get to 5 mana. Eventually we want to get to 7 in case we get another Bolas to flip it. But for now, I think it's worth it to dig deeper into the deck for more answers to what's going on here. Alright, yep. Go ahead and sacrifice the Puzzle Knot, get another critter, get a scry off of the Kingpin. And they liked what was on top, which is probably bad for us. Or maybe it was just a Prophetic Prism. So they can stack these to where they can scry and then draw, and they do that. So did not like that one. Alright, Boneyard. And Dragon looks like it's gonna, or maybe it won't hold it back. Or maybe it will. Yep, opponent decides not to attack. So if we attack here, we do 5, but they're gaining 2 life a turn between the Kingpin and the Inventor's Fair, so we're doing 3 and they're doing 3. We would lose that race. We also have Scrap Heap Scroungers, though. I think what we're going to do is play out our Scrap Heap Scroungers. And still hold our dragon back. And in the turn, we have Magma Spray available if we need to kill something. The next turn we can start going a little bit aggro. Alright, they're up to 21 with the gain from the Inventor's Fair there. Looks like they're not playing anything. And they're not attacking either. So we'll go to our turn. Now we're going to go on the offensive. Let's attack with everything. Alright, he's pushed. I expect them to block the other Scrounger with the Kingpin, and we will finish it off with a Magma Spray. Looks like that's what's happening. Alright, let's Magma Spray that guy. Then we're going to cycle this Canyon Slough instead of playing Pia because we can reanimate Scrap Heap on the end of their turn. And the Mountain, we'll go ahead and play that out. We could play Pia. I think it's better to recur the Scrounger, though, so we'll end the turn. Alright, our Dragon's getting contempted. That is sad, but now they are cardless. So they're in absolute top deck mode, which hopefully will be good for us. They could sacrifice this Inventor's Fair and go and find an artifact. They've seemed reluctant to do that, though. Wonder if they're going to hold back to block or attack here. Looks like they are going aggressive. So we'll be taking 2. Renegade map? Sure. They're empty-handed, so no need waiting till end of turn. We'll go ahead and recur this Scrap Heap Scrounger. A Braid is fine. Since they're empty-handed, we'll go ahead and play out Pia, then just attack for time-saving purposes. And I'm also going to go ahead and pump one of these Scroungers. I don't think we need to hold up a Braid here. rather just get as much damage in as quickly as we can. Swing for 7, put them to 13. They'll gain 1 on their upkeep back to 14, and we should win this race if something incredible doesn't come off the top of their deck. Or if they don't search for something incredible with Inventor's Fair here, which they're searching for something. Let's see what they get. Noxious Gear Hulk, okay. So we can deal with that. We have a Braid. They're going to gain some life. Luckily, they are not gaining life from Inventor's Fair anymore, though. So sacrificing during their upkeep before they draw to try to prevent themselves from drawing another land. Right, that's exactly Gear Hulk mana. I suspect they're going to kill Pia here. Yeah, looks like the case, because she can pump and also sacrifice Thopters and such to stop them from blocking. So, is opponent ready to hold back yet? Yep, seems that they are. Oh, that is an incredible draw. This is going to be kind of brutal. Let's go ahead and destroy an artifact. Play Chain Whirler. Just wipe their board. And then swing for pretty much a billion. Not quite, but, you know, unless something incredible happens, they're dead next turn. And they're dead. So, not really sure how to sideboard versus what they're playing there. And in most cases, when I'm unsure what to sideboard, I just leave the deck the same. I mean, everything seems perfectly fine in the main deck. I don't think we want Jace's defeats. Chain Whirler especially seems incredible versus what they're playing. Yeah, we're just going to resubmit this. Right, opponent mulligan there. This is fine. I think we'll keep it. Kinda sad we got the second Sarkhan, but the first one's very likely to die, so that seems fine. Would like to draw a dragon so we can make use of Sarkhan to power one of those out. Looks like they scried to the top. Let off with a canal. We'll lead off with a slew. We get to go turn 2 Scrap Heap, which is pretty good. They've got turn 2 Prophetic Prism, so drawing extra cards through their deck. We have actually not seen anything improvise except for the Thopter guy yet. Go ahead and play out Scrap Heap. I do suspect they have other improvised cards in the deck. Alright, got some servos coming. Or a servo coming. So let's go ahead and attack first. Looks like they're in defense mode, which seems good for us. Keep them on their back foot. Then we'll play out Summit, play out Sarkhan. And we're going to rummage. We're going to discard a mountain because we can cycle the Canyon Slough.
Me mad? Bolas told me I should do this.
Ooh, Nicol Bolas. That is one of the best cards we could have drawn there. Another Prophetic Prism. Opponent just kind of churning their wheels here. Right, so I could make mana with Sarkhan, but we're going to have enough to cast Nicol Bolas anyway, so let's tick up to Rummage. Again, we'll discard a mountain.
I need this.
Second Nicol Bolas, perfectly fine too. Let's attack before we play Nicol Bolas in case this represents a Magma Spray or something. Looks like it doesn't. Let's get a card out of their hand. Right, just a land. Tevaron, okay. So they can draw 2 cards here. They have Metalcraft. Nope, going to make a Thopter to block. To protect the Tevaron. I think we will rummage again. This time we'll discard Ether Hub.
What madness!
Chain Whirler, that is great. I was looking for a way to remove that Thopter. That is certainly one of those.
How thick-headed are you?
And then we'll go and kill Tezzeret. Oh, and opponent has had enough. Okay. I think this hand is fine. We've got Scrap Heap, we've got early removal we can cast. We're going to keep this. We'll lead off with the Sulfur Falls so that we can turn to Scrap Heap Scrounger. We do need a couple more lands, but hopefully we have time enough to draw those. Alright, Drowned Catacomb from the opponent. Let's go ahead and play our Scrounger. Try to get a bit aggressive here. Ooh, Glint Sleeve Siphoner. This is probably Grixis then. And we do not want this thing to stick around and draw cards. Also don't want to give them the opportunity to block with it, so let's kill it pre-combat. And we did not draw a land. That is sad. Hopefully we don't just brick off and die here. Alright, they are Grixis. So this is probably the Grixis Midrange deck running Nicol Bolas. Drew a third land, that's good. So they can make a Thopter here. I think it's still worth killing this. So let's go ahead and abrade it. They'll have to make a decision right now whether they want to make a Thopter to block. It looks like they do. Go ahead and play our Summon Out and attack. So, an untapped mana source next turn lets us play Nicol Bolas. Hopefully they don't have a Nicol Bolas coming as well. They do, though. So, I think we're going to discard Abrade. Well, no, Abrade would let us kill this if they block. Maybe we just discard Demanding Dragon since we're a ways away from playing that. Another Scrounger, huh? Well, we're going to go to attacks. Looks like they are going to block, so we'll do damage there. We could Banefire for one and keep the Abrade. I think I would rather hold on to the Banefire, though, so let's finish off Bolas with the Abrade. Again, we need some lands. Just kind of stagnating here. If this keeps up, I don't think we're going to have much of a shot. Champion of Wits, drawing our opponent some cards. Letting them filter what they choose to keep. Right, they discarded 2 lands. They are land heavy, we are land light. We did draw Fetid Pools. Let's see. We do have the means to bring back this Scrounger, so I think we're going to do that. We're just going to end the turn. We'll do it on their end step. Could also Banefire to kill this, but I don't think that's important at the moment. Banefire is a very good finisher if we can actually get into this game. Also, one of the cards that can kill their dragons. Whirler, yep, you got it. Right, so that's going to be a problem for us too. We'll go to end of turn, reanimate this Scrap Heap Scrounger. Magma Spray is good. We would like to kill this with Magma Spray. Let's go to attacks first. See what the opponent chooses to do. Looks like they're going to make a Thopter. Are you going to block with the Thopter or the Whirler? Looks like the Whirler. That's fine. So Magma Spray can kill this. I think Nicol Bolas is the better play here, though. Alright, discarded a Supreme Will. Luckily, they were 1 land short of countering Nicol Bolas that turn. Yep, they've got a Contempt. So we don't have fodder for the Scrounger. We did draw another Nicol Bolas, though, so let's play that. That seems excellent. Alright, discarded another land. I wish we could draw another land. Liliana. So, probably bringing back their Bolas.
Why hire servants when you can raise the dead? Back from the dead.
So we'll discard our Scrounger. That will give, Scrounger fodder. Also, if we top deck an untapped land, we can Banefire this. That's not what that is. So we probably want to kill Liliana with it. I mean, we could Magma Spray plus Banefire and kill it. Let's play our Canyon Slough. We're in a very touchy situation here. I do think we absolutely have to kill Liliana here, so let's Banefire for 2. Can't let her stick around.
Is that all you got?
And we'll hold the Magma Spray for the moment and pass the turn. We are not in any position to be attacking. Thankfully, they've discarded enough lands here that they don't have the mana at present to flip Nicol Bolas. Champion of Wits. Well, let's hope they don't hit anything relevant. Alright, discarding more lands, huh? Alright, looks like they're attacking with everything. I think we'll block the champion. Very likely to get our Nicol Bolas killed, though. Actually, let's trade Bolas for Bolas, so that they don't get use out of a potential burn spell in hand. And then we'll Magma Spray this champion that's coming at us. Chaining Nicol Bolas's seems awesome. Thank you very much, deck. Let's actually bluff a burn spell here by holding up red. Get rid of that last card in hand. Hopefully it was a burn spell. Magma Spray. And it was. So, very glad that we traded for Bolas last turn. Yeah, I'm going to block here. They drew another burn spell, they drew another burn spell. And they did. And Bolas is going to get exiled. We've got Scrap Heap Scroungers, though. We're definitely going to play this out and end the turn. So, we can bring one of the Scroungers back. They drew a land too. Looks like they're coming at us, or not, with the Thopter. Yep, here it comes. They're one off reanimating their champion. Let's go ahead and bring back a Scrounger. We'll exile the Bolas in case we get another creature into the graveyard so that we can bring back the other Scrounger. A Braid will hold on to that. Let's go attacking. Alright, and it's kind of a top deck war now. They hit a 7th land, but luckily it came into play untapped, so no eternalizing for their champion this turn. Go to our turn. Ooh, Chain Whirler was good. Let's get aggressive. This will allow us to keep pounding in there with our Scrap Heap Scrounger. Also, the Abrade in our hand next turn lets us kill their champion no matter what they block. If they block the Chain Whirler, then their champion will die and the Chain Whirler will live. I actually now feel like we're in a decent position. Of course, they could draw something just ridiculously powerful and bury us, but hopefully that won't be the case. There's the champion getting eternalized, so they get to draw 4, discard 2. But they don't have any mana left to do anything with the cards that they draw. They could play an untapped mana, though, because they haven't played a land yet this turn. Looks like they don't have anything. Go to our turn. Mountain, we're going to hold that mountain. We're going to attack here. Yeah, they're obligated to block. We'll go ahead and abrade that. Get 3 damage in. We'll end the turn. We can bring back one of these scroungers at the end of their turn. Nicol Bolas. Okay, well, kind of wish I'd played the mountain now. Oh well. Guess we got punished. And this may actually not be great for us if we don't draw a way to remove this. Yeah, sure. They are going to be able to flip it next turn. See, we'll go to the end step just in case. Bring back Scrounger. We'll exile the Chain Whirler. Well, that's not a way to deal with it, so let's cycle some... So let's cycle it. That is not either. So, can't really afford to attack. And they're going to flip into a Planeswalker. Probably after hitting us in the face for 4. And I think we've just lost this game. We'll give it a turn or 2 more, but it feels real bad, especially with them having a Ribbons in their graveyard. Now, there is
I thought I was fighting
the Arisen,
dragons when
who
I
does
was
some
truly
insanely
fighting
powerful
ants.
stuff.
The dead shall
Get back
serve
Liliana.
me.
Liliana can get back something
You're
else.
standing in my way. I brought
Nicol
back an
Bolas
old
will discard
friend.
this Spire Bluff Canal. And that is game over, my friends. Good game. So the Grixis decks are mid-range, but they kind of sideboard into control versus what we're doing most of the time, I believe. So we're going to sideboard versus them as though they are control, which means we want to bring in our Jace's defeats. We want to bring in the Eldest Reborn, Liliana, Angrath, Bloodfast. We want to bring in some number of Duresses. Let's see what we're going to take out first. They do have Siphoners, but I suspect they'll be siding those out against us, so we'll take out our Magna Sprays. We also want to take out some number of Abrades. Pia Nalar. Let's take out Pia first. I think Cut is fine. In fact, we may want to bring in the other Cut because it kills Nicol Bolas. We could bring in Chandra's Defeat for the same reason, but it's a lot more narrow. It does hit Whirler, though, which I suspect they'll be leaving in. I think we want to take out Demanding Dragon. Yeah, I think we're going to take out 2 Abrades and bring in 2 Chandra's Defeats. Hour of Glory is also a consideration. But I think Chandra's Defeat's just better because of the mana efficiency, so we'll do that. And this may be wrong, but we're going to give it a try. It's kind of weird going up against mid-range. Submit. Alrighty, well, this is an awesome hand if we had more land, as is often the case in these situations. Let's mulligan. And that is certainly better. We'll keep it. And we'll keep that. That will make sure that we have the mana to play Bolas. We'll play out Canyon Slough. Alright, Fetid Pools. Let's play our Spire Bluff Canal so we don't wait too long and have it come into play tapped. Jace's Defeat's a decent draw. Let's go ahead and play out Chain Whirler here. Looks like it may be dying. Yep, getting abraded. Whirler Virtuoso. So we can kill it. They can leave a Thopter. I think we're going to go for Bolas this turn. Also, mulliganing feels really bad versus an opponent with Bolas in their deck. Just puts us down even more cards. Hopefully they don't turn 4 Bolas against us here. So they're going to go ahead and make a Thopter. Interesting. Discard a Magma Spray. Okay, they have Harness Lightning for Bolas. Are they missing a land drop? And they're just trying to go aggro? It looks like that may be the case. Well, I think we want to hold up Jace's defeat here, so let's play out our Scrap Heap Scrounger. And end the turn. Looks like they're going to attacks. Holding back this turn. Let's go ahead and abrade this Whirler, or attempt to. Alright, now they can't block and kill our Scrounger. Before anything, let's go ahead and cycle this Canyon Slough. Dragon Skull Summit, sure. Go attacking. Alright, opponent's blocking, preserving their life total. Alright, hit their 4th land. We have Jace's defeat for the Bolas, so that feels nice. Hopefully they don't have a second one to just chain off in their hand. Well, that is also unfortunate, but at least we get a redraw, so let's do that. The Eldest Reborn, please don't have another Bolas. I would very much like to resolve this Eldest Reborn. Okay. So let's go attacking. And even though it doesn't have anything to kill, I think it's the right move. Let's put it out there. If they have a counterspell, I suspect this will be getting countered. They have a Contempt, so no counterspell. Eldritch Reborn sticks. That is great for us. Let's play out our Canal. So if they don't have a way to get rid of this, we're going to be reanimating something in a turn or so. They've got Liliana, so they're getting back their own Bolas here, almost certainly.
The living are just so needy.
Yep, there it is. So I guess we could get back a Whirler. Or maybe we can get back Bolas since we drew Banefire. Please kill this. Oh my god, I misclicked. Oh my god, I thought I put that to 4. Well, I think I've just lost the game here due to playing too quickly.
Death is ever present.
That was horrible. Oh, I feel like such a moron. I think we were still in horrible shape even if I'd killed this, because they still have Liliana, but yeah, they got Scarab God. Holy jeez, that was horrible. Alrighty. Well, I mean, we get to get something back. We do have our own Bolas, so I guess we do that. We can flip it. However, they can immediately kill it. We could reanimate their Whirler to block. Maybe that's okay. They're 1 land off of doing their own Bolas. Yeah, I think we have to do this. Oh, I feel like we'd have been in such a better position if I hadn't have screwed up that. So, yeah, we have to reanimate. And opponent's graveyard. Oh, they have a Gear Hulk. do we have? I don't remember. We've got a Banefire. Let's get the Whirler, because I can't back out of that to look at our graveyard, it looked like. Unfortunately, another mistake I should have checked. Just kind of chaining them off together here. In the turn. Alright, we didn't have the means to kill something in our graveyard, so that's good. I mean, we could have killed the zombie, but that's not a huge deal. There is a Chain Whirler in our graveyard here, so opponent can outplay us, which we've outplayed ourselves this game. By attacking, when we make a Thopter, they can reanimate our Chain Whirler with Scarab God so that we can't block with the Thopter. Yeah, that's a zombie.
Another minion never hurts.
Oh, they're going to contempt something, I suspect. Yep. What's your target? Suspect it's Bolas. And it is. Yep, go to combat. So, let's make a Thopter, shall we? We'll fight to the bitter end, even though we're pretty much dead here. Block here. Block here. And that is the ball game. Good game, my friend. I handed you that victory, which I think you probably would have won anyway with the Scarab God and everything, but we certainly didn't make it any harder for you. That is for certain. Alright, again, an awesome hand that lacks lands. So, let's ship it back. This is okay. That helps, so we'll keep her on top. So now we're not waiting until turn 5 to actually get any pressure on the board. We do have a Braid to kill things. I'm actually not sure our opponent's here in the game, honestly, because we sat here for a long time waiting for them to resolve mulligans, and it might have been the game just advancing. Yeah, already going to timer. And I guess our opponent was not there. Perhaps they are aware of how silly we were last game and felt sorry for us and wanted to give us the win. Sure. Sorry about the non-exciting gameplay, but there's not much I can do to control what happens when we're doing a league run. We get what we get. Let's jump back in. Alright, I think we're going to keep this. We do need blue mana to be able to cast Nicol Bolas, but we've got double Scrappy into Unlicensed Disintegration. Looks like we're up against mono red, so double Scrappy, actually not that great. Alright, another Summit. Let's play our Mountain so that our Summits will come into play untapped. So hopefully the rest of their hand is not super aggressive. But it seems like it is. Yeah, this is not a great situation to be in. There at least is our blue mana, so guess we should be thankful for that. We are quite a bit behind the opponent at the moment, starting off with Bomat Courier there. And unfortunately, Scrounger can't block. He's going to be coming out in this matchup, for certain. Chain Whirler 2. Awesome. That is sarcasm, if you couldn't tell. So let's go ahead and play this. I think we want to disintegrate this and start attacking because Scrappy cannot block. So at least gets us a bit into the game damage-wise. Go ahead and attack, please. Alright, taking another 4. That Bomat Courier is going to bury us when it finally gets popped. Alright, they didn't have anything that turn. So, before we do anything, let's go to attacks. I'm kind of tempted to Chain Whirler here to either force them to pop that Bomat Courier or to get it off the board without them getting the cards from it. But I'm also tempted to play Bolas because we can. I don't know which is correct. If they have removal for the Chain Whirler, that's really bad. Let's go for Bolas. Because they can kill Chain Whirler with the trigger on the stack, get one more card out of their hand, and then sack Bomat Courier, and get 4 cards while throwing away 3 and dealing with our Chain Whirler. So let's make some blue mana. Bolas resolves. Let's see what it rips from their hand. They're playing an Abrade. Feels like they're wanting to sack the Bomat Courier. They discarded a Hazoret, okay. Yeah, they are definitely emptying their hand. Oh, they had another Hazoret. Feels like we're pretty dead here. Taking 6, going to 3. We have to block the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Glorybringer. So I could Glorybringer, exert, and kill this. Hold Bolas back to block. They have any burn, we're dead. I mean, they're going to be able to do 2 no matter what. Yeah, we're in pretty bad shape. I think we're actually going to Chain Whirler. We would rather have the Chain Whirler block if at all possible. We'll go ahead and play Scrap Heap as well. And we have to attack if we want to have any chance. We do have them to 6. So if they brick off here, we may be okay. They got a Phoenix. I think we're going to win this game. I think Glorybringer is going to bring this game home. I certainly did not expect to win this. Please exert. Having trouble getting the game to take clicks today for whatever reason. And holy cow, we managed to win that game. Oh, I don't feel like we should have won that game, but we did, so I'm not going to argue. Scrap Heap Scroungers come out. Absolutely, and for certain. Think Demanding Dragons come out too, and the Eldest Reborn, it's just too slow. Think we want Chandra's Defeats, we want Spitflame for recurrent creature removal. Think we want Hour of Glories. We want our other cut. And maybe we just leave a Demanding Dragon in. Although Angrath is not too awfully bad. Liliana can also pump out creatures for us. Or maybe we just want the Eldest Reborn back in. I'm going to err on the side of keeping an extra dragon in for the synergies with Sarkhan and Spitflame. Again, I'm not sure that this is correct. This is my first time playing with this deck, so please forgive any lack of knowledge. Alrighty. Well, our land in this hand is very bad, but the hand itself is very good if we can draw especially a second red source, so I think we're going to chance it and keep this. I mean, that helps, I suppose. It's not a red source, unfortunately. Which, I mean, Ether Hub can play an imitation of a red source, I suppose. And they did not start off with Bomat Courier, so that makes me feel a bit better. Scrappy's going to start pounding our face in. Let's play out our Fetid Pools. We need to be able to resolve something that's going to do something next turn. Probably Pia. We could go for Sarkhan. But I suspect Sarkhan will die, though maybe not. Huh, if Sarkhan sticks, then that's incredibly good for us. As we can Glorybringer. And if he doesn't, I guess he soaks up a bunch of damage. So let's go for Sarkhan. And we are going to rummage here. Oh, they got a Chandra's defeat. So never mind, he didn't soak up Jack. We're not going to discard, actually. Since they killed Sarkhan, I suspect that they will be able to deal with the first Bolas. So I would like to have a backup for that. Alright, they're stuck on 2 lands. That is definitely good for us. So I could have played the Slew, planning to play Glorybringer next turn and just played Pia, but I think Nicol Bolas is well worth putting onto the battlefield. So let's do that. Hopefully they don't have a second Chandra's defeat in hand. But they do. So again, glad we held on to this second Bolas. We are getting very low even though they're stuck on lands and just a scrap heap Scrounger in hand. Or on the board, rather. Discarded a Chain Whirler. So they hit their 3rd land. For an Ether Sphere Harvester, okay? Going down to 11. So, do we Bolas or Glorybringer? If we Glorybringer, we can kill this Scrounger. They can recur it and then just crew the Harvester. So actually, I think we go for Bolas. Okay, discard a Braid. We're going to play out the Canyon Slew here because we have 2 3-drops in hand, and I would like to be able to play them both next turn if that's feasible. Also, 1 more land and we can flip a Bolas if it remains in play. Unlicensed. So, not remaining in play, and we're going very low on life. Looks like they're just attacking us with the Scrounger. Glorybringer. So I think we have to Pia plus Chain Whirler. We could Glorybringer and Exert. They could bring it back. Crew, put us to 2. We could just Glorybringer and leave it up. I think we're going to try to flood the board a little bit, though. Play out Pia first. Also gives us a blocker for this Harvester. Play the Chain Whirler. And we're kind of on our back foot again. If we can survive a turn or 2 and start our Glorybringers just banging away, we might be able to pull this one out. Alright, Chain Whirler of their own, so we can't block the Harvester. Yeah, crewing the Harvester, leaving Chain Whirler back to block, that is a good play. So we're going to 1, actually. So even another Chain Whirler here kills us now. Yeah, we really don't have any other choice. Let's tap you for colorless. We just have to play Glorybringer and hold it back to block. And we're very, very likely just dead. Yep, crewing that. I suspect they have a burn spell in hand to finish off our Glorybringer. Yep, coming with both. We have to block both. Yep. Kill our Glorybringer. I'm sure could have just cast that and killed us. Guess you thought we might have had a counterspell? Sure. A little bit of a slow roll there. Alright, just going to resubmit this. Okay. Yeah, not sure about this hand either. It's a little slow. I don't think we can afford to throw it back, so just strap in and hope to not just die. Maybe I should have mulliganed for more early game interaction. Well, at least it's a Soulscar Mage and not a Courier. Second Hour of Glory, huh? Yeah, hitting us for 1. There's a Scrounger. That's a decent target for our Hour of Glory. So we can Sarkin, tick up, and then they can kill it. I think we want Tapia. Chain Whirler, so bye-bye to this, shrink this. Huh. I think we're not going to block. Sulfur Falls. Next turn we can Glorybringer. I think we're going to end the turn here. We're going to Hour of Glory something. Alright, they're going to combat. So let's block the Chain Whirler. Then let's Hour of Glory the Scrounger. Phoenix, okay. Have an Hour of Glory for that. So if we Glorybringer and Exert on Chain Whirler, they hit us for 5. Taking us to 8. Maybe it's best to just Hour of Glory the Phoenix and only take 4 for certain. No, I think the Glorybringer is our best bet. Let's Exert ya. Kill this. I mean, they can block with Phoenix too, but not much I can do about that. Yeah, here it comes, hitting us for 5. Soulscar Mage, so maybe it was better to just Hour of Glory the Phoenix. They're just throwing out a billion things and coming at our face, so I don't know. We are in a horrible position. They have lethal on board. 6. If we Hour of Glory this, it's not lethal. We could Nicol Bolas, get that last card out of their hand. Block 4, 5, 6, take us to 2. Yeah, going to try for the Bolas. Perhaps we should have sided Sarkin out in this matchup. Perhaps that was the more correct thing, because he does not seem to be very good against these aggro red decks, does he? So we're going to block here. If they have basically anything, we're dead. Bringing back Scrap Heap. Second Scrap Heap, and that's the ball game, I think. Especially since we didn't draw a land to both Hour and do one of these. I mean, we could do 2 of these. We could cut here, block here, kill this on their turn, and we're dead. Yep, good game, opponent. Yeah, I feel like we discovered there that we should sideboard the Sarkins out against the aggressive red deck. So that's good to learn. Let's go ahead and grab this and join another one. Thank you very much. And we'll jump back in here. I mean, against an aggressive deck, this is good. We don't know what our opponent is on. I think we keep this in the dark, so let's do that. Alrighty, well, we'll lead off with a Canyon Slough. And unfortunately, I think our opponent... Nope, there they are. I was going to say they may not be there again because they had their timer burning during mulliganing. They looked at our Canyon Slough, though. I hope we're not going to have another no-show. No, there they are again. Okay, green. Good deal. Let's go with a mountain. And in the turn, we'll probably cycle this Canyon Slough if they don't present us with something to kill. Well, that is certainly something to kill, so we will be killing this Mana Dork. Would not like for you to ramp. Chain Whirler is good. Have to spend energy to play it. I think that's fine. Go ahead and add some red, please. Alright, looks like they are straight black-green. Though I guess they could be a third color. They do have Servant of the Conduits. Potentially other colors of lands we haven't seen yet. Jade Light, okay. Hopefully they'll only hit once here. Hostage Taker, okay. Going to keep that or mill it. Looks like they are Sultai. Alright, kept it on top, so we cannot afford to abrade this thing. Let's go ahead and start by cycling this Canyon Slough. Banefire's okay. Let's play our Sulfur Falls and attack. And we'll pass back. Don't know if they have the blue mana to cast this turn. Looks like they don't. Vizier of the Menagerie, okay. Are you coming at us? Looks like not. Okay. So, I think we're going to attack. If they block with the Vizier, we've got Magma Spray to kill it. Alright, they choose not to, so in that case, I think we're going to Banefire it. Let's make sure I get to 4 this time. Okay, Vizier gone. Another Vizier, so they are hardcore on the Vizier plan. Good to know. So again, I think we attack here. They still don't have blue mana for that Hostage Taker. Alright, blocking with Jade Light. I'm fine with that. So, they really want to keep this alive, huh? Makes me want to kill it. Let's see. I think we're going to Sarkhan. And we are going to Rummage, pitching this. Drew another land. We're going to kill that Vizier. They want it to be alive way too much for me to be comfortable letting it stay on the board. So hopefully we can draw some dragons now. And hopefully also they'll never hit their blue mana source. That would also be extremely acceptable to me. Alright, looking at Sarkin there. You got a kill spell for him, Vraska's Contempt. Yep, you do. Alright, bye-bye to Sarkin. That is a mountain. Well, we're gonna go attacking. And I guess we're gonna play out this mountain, just in case of discard. That way we have the mana to flip Bolas if we ever draw him. And yeah, I think we just play out the Eldest Reborn. Again, opponent could have discard, and I would like not to discard it and get no use from it. Would have loved to have been able to make them sack a creature, but doesn't seem to be possible at the moment. Elvish Rejuvenator. Okay. Cool, not super familiar with that card. They discard a card now. They've got blue mana at this point. Luckily, we do have a Braid. Nissa, huh? Let's go attacking. Alright, they're going to block. Go ahead and let that happen, and in the turn, we get to reanimate something this next turn. We don't have anything of ours. We'll probably get Jade Light Ranger. Vizier also wouldn't be bad, I suppose. I think we'll get Jade Light Ranger. We can't get Nissa because of her ex. She would have 0 loyalty and just immediately die. So if they hostage taker got Chain Whirler here, we're going to kill the hostage taker with the trigger on the stack. Ah, Chupacabra. Actually, am okay with that. Still going to hold our Braid. Go to our turn. Spire Bluff Canal. Yeah, let's get the Jade Light Ranger, please. Scrap Heap Scrounger. Let's put that in the graveyard. Sarkin? Let's leave that on the library. We'll play out our canal. And in the turn, we'll bring back the Scrounger on our opponent's instep. Jade Light Ranger of their own. I mean, which ours is theirs too, but it's ours now, right? Yeah, draw some lands. Still no permanent blue source, it looks like. There's the hostage taker. Well, we have to kill this with the trigger on the stack because they own this, so if we wait till after, they'll get it back. Yeah. Otherwise, I would let it take it so we could get the trigger again. Yeah, now we get to keep it. Okay, they're not attacking. Let's bring back our Scrounger. Sarkin. I think we want to protect Sarkin, so let's attack with just the Scrounger. Alright. Well, let's play out Sarkin then. It doesn't matter which of his plus abilities we use because we don't have any cards in hand, so either way.
You unhinged.
Hostage taker again, huh? Alright, well that's unfortunate. Don't have the answer this time. Yep. Recast their Jade Light Ranger there. Okay, land in another Jade Light. I suspect they'll leave that on top. They have a good board presence now. Probably just want more. Alright, attacking Sarkin. I'll be honest, thus far I've been super unimpressed with Sarkin in this deck. I mean, I know he's dragon synergistic, but just have not liked him thus far. And kind of feel that he might even be better just as Chandra. Don't really know. Let's Let's go ahead and do that.
I don't need this.
I will
I need
discard a
this.
Scrounger, draw a Magma Spray. That's nice, I suppose. So let's end the turn. And if they don't attack Sarkhan with everything, I can stop him from dying. Alright, hitting all land drops. That's what Jade Light Ranger does for you, though. Yep, there's the other one. Yep, Llanowar Elves. It's probably going in the yard. Yep, Chupacabra probably staying on top. Yep. Okay. Feel like we're about to be buried here. Need to draw some dragons. Alright, they're going with everything, so we can't stop him from dying. I feel like we still probably want to Magma Spray this Ranger. We'll do that after combat, though. See if they present us with anything else we'd rather do that to.
Strike like you mean it.
Alright, they do not. So yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of this. We'll also bring back a Scrap Heap Scrounger. Alright, they have a Fatal Push, that's fine. Chain Whirler. I mean, it's a creature. Doesn't really kill anything on their board, unfortunately. But if they Chupacabra the Chain Whirler, we can at least bring back Scrap Heap. We're just kind of treading water here, not really getting anywhere at this point. A Gear Hulk. That's unfortunate. That's a lot worse for us than Chupacabra. Yep. Gained some life there. So we're going to take 8. Go to 12. They have lethal on board next turn. We know the Chupacabra's in their hands, so let's just go ahead and bring that back. And we need something incredible. I mean, I guess that keeps us from dying. 7 also puts them to 4, so a Banefire would be lethal. So let's attack and exert. Exert on that. Also, cut would be lethal. We have enough mana to do that. Alright, land, there's finally a permanent blue source for them. There's the Chupacabra. Killing the Scrounger. Okay. Guess that makes sense. This is exerted. Can't untap next turn. So they'll put us to 4. And we're dead. Good game, opponent. Okay, so feels like we don't want Scrap Heap Scroungers in the deck. Need stuff that can block. I think I'm going to start siding out Sarkhan. He does not feel good to me. I think we want Spit Flame. I think we want Hour of Glories. And we want our other cut. We actually got room for 2 more cards, so maybe we bring in the Eldest Reborn and one of the Planeswalkers, or maybe we bring in both Planeswalkers. Eldest Reborn seemed okay, though not as good versus Hostage Taker. Yeah, I think we'll leave the one of in the deck and bring in both of these Planeswalkers and see how that does. Okay, this seems like a decent hand, I suppose. I would like to have some pressure in it, but we do have lots of removal, and they have lots of creatures to be removed. At least that was the experience in Game 1, so hopefully that will work out in our favor. Alright, we'll lead off with the mountain, because that will let Sulfur Falls come in untapped. Alright, no mana dork there, so let's go for Sulfur Falls. Just ship it back. Alright, nothing, huh? We'll just keep making our land drops and passing then. Can we please draw some dragons fairly early this game? Please, deck? Alright, Rejuvenator. Alright, got a blue mana off the bat that time. Don't think we're going to worry about killing that. All the lands, huh? We'll just keep doing this. So we opened up with 7 cards, which were 4 lands and 3 removal spells, and up till now we've drawn nothing but more lands. Hopefully that ends soon. Jade Light Ranger, sure. I'm going to Magma Spray that with the trigger on the stack. That way it can't get out of Magma Spray's range. Right, Chupacabra. Looks like they leave that on top. We're going to be taking 1 here. Still not interested in killing that Rejuvenator at this point. There's much more scary things in the opponent's deck. Canyon Slough. Let's cycle that. Alright, Chain Whirler. That is a much better way to kill that Rejuvenator, I think. Go ahead and make some red mana with our Ether Hub. So we may be getting Chupacabra'd here. And we are. Yeah, you got it. Oh. Oh yeah, we were tapped out. Never mind. Was about to say why didn't we get a chance to respond, but we were tapped out. I'm going to end the turn. Okay, we're going to take this. Don't want to interact with this thing in combat, because Blossoming Defense would make us very sorry about that. If they don't play anything else and we want to kill it, we'll do it at the end of their turn. Jade Light Ranger. Okay, again, we're going to Magma Spray that, or attempt to, with the trigger on the stack. Again, so that it can't get its defense out of the range that Magma Spray can kill it. Right, Menagerie. Left that on top. And we're going to end the turn. Oh, deck, please give me not lands. Please. Yep, going to 15. Again, holding this Abrade for something more threatening than the Chupacabra. There's the Vizier. So they can play something off the top of their deck. If it's a creature card, looks like it's not. Glorybringer. Probably going to get Vraska's Contempted when we try to do this, but don't feel that we have much of an option. Alright, we didn't get Contempted. Kill this. And we get to keep a dragon. That's awesome. Alright, land. So they have enough mana to Hostage Taker and play our Glorybringer, so if they go for that, we have to kill the Hostage Taker with the trigger on the stack, but no, it's just another Chupacabra. That is better than them stealing it with a Hostage Taker, I suppose. I don't think they're playing Blossoming Defense at this point. So I am going to go ahead and kill this thing. Or attempt to. If they are playing it, then Guess I'm a sad panda. But they aren't, so good. Another dragon, please. That's not what that is. Cycle. Dragon, please. I mean, I guess we could call that a dragon. It's more of a goblin. But it is something, so we'll take it. And also, we have not seen any discard from them, so I'm going to hold the Ether Hub as a bluff. Scarab God. That's probably game over. They're going to take our Glorybringer. Yep. And it's going to kill our Chain Whirler. And it's only coming by itself. Okay. So, 5, 6, 7. I mean, we're pretty dead here. I'll just let the opponent do what they're going to do. I don't think there's anything that we can draw that gets us out of this at this point. Go to 3. And yeah, that is the ball game. Alright, I think we're going to go one more match. I would like to get one more win that involves us actually beating the opponent and not them just not showing up, so we'll give it a shot. There's a lot of dragons in this hand, and with the lack of dragons that we've had the last few games, I think we're going to keep it, even though the mana's not great. We are on the play, so I guess that helps, potentially. Ooh, planes. Authority of the Consuls. Are we up against a control deck, then? Well, let's let you gain a life since we drew a Scrappy. Okay. I'm a little confused as to what's going on. Could we draw an untapped land next turn that produces either blue or black? Second authority, sure. Is this just a life gain deck? They're stuck on 2. Let's attack. Which is not saying much because we're stuck on 3 at this point. Chain Whirler. Uses our energy. So now we're in worse shape as far as mana goes, but we've got more pressure on the board. We're going to gain some life back. Aerial Responder. So they are sort of life gaining. Let's attack. They choose not to block. Go with Canal and end the turn. Again, would love to draw any untapped land at this point. We could Glorybringer. Yep, they're going to hit us for 2, gain 2, back up to 15. That's a Glorybringer. That's not the means to cast a Glorybringer, unfortunately. Let's go to attacks. Alright, they're taking it. But we're only netting 2 with the life they're gaining. Pridemate, okay. We'll let them go to attacks before we try to deal with that. Let's not let it get big, please. If you're unfamiliar with the Johnny's Pride mate, there you go. Gets +1/+1 counters whenever they gain life. Alright, that's what we wanted. Yep. They have a turn to deal with it because of the authorities. Then hopefully we get to untap with it. Resplendent Angel. Okay, well now we know what the payoff for their life gain is all about. There's a permanent black source for us, so we'll definitely be playing that. Let's go to attacks. We will exert you. And just attack with you guys. We are lagging so much today. We'll exert on you. And I think we'll go for Demanding Dragon because they have to sack a creature or die. They choose to die. Interesting decision. Alright, again, this is sort of just a rogue brew deck that we're up against, so I'm not real certain how to sideboard versus this. I think we're just going to take Sarkhan out again because I don't like Sarkhan after playing with him for a bit here. And then I guess we'll bring in Spitflame and the other cut. And that seems like about all I want to do here. Alright, we've got Glorybringers and the means to cast them. Opponent seemed very slow last game, so we're going to risk keeping this. Alright, no authority of the consoles this time. Lay out our fetid pools. Could have held it to cycle, I suppose, since we did have a blue source here. Play out our summit. Drew another dragon, so starting on turn 5, we get to just chain dragon into dragon into dragon. They've got an aerial responder. So yeah, we should have held the fetid pools to cycle. Yep. Gaining 3 life, drawing a card. There's the authority. So that's going to put a damper on our dragon plans. But I think we'll be alright with it. Just keep playing our lands. Next turn we actually get to start doing stuff. Or trying to, anyway. Well, would have loved to have had you on turn 2, Mr. Scrounger. We'll go with the Glorybringer. They'll gain a life. And they do get a turn to try to deal with it. Alright. Well, they dealt with it. We're getting attacked. C4, 5, 6. I think we're going to go for Bolas, as we will have the lands next turn to actually flip it into a Planeswalker if it sticks around. Alright, discarded Inspired Charge. We'll go ahead and play out Scrap Heap Scrounger too. Opponent is at a large total of life. Dawn Feather Eagle. Okay. So I think we might be about to stabilize here. Let's play out Ether Hub. And we're going to go ahead and flip this free combat. Does opponent have anything to bring back? They do not.
Multiverse is at my disposal.
So we've got a lot of choices here. We can draw cards. We can deal 10 damage. I think we just want to draw cards.
My genius is unmatched.
That's not bad. We will attack with the Scrounger. Exquisite Archangel. Okay. So I think we need to kill that. So 10 damage here. Then probably Banefire this. Say 1, 2, 3. Make sure it is 3. There we go. And we will attack, since the Scrounger cannot block. And we'll probably cycle this as well, but we'll wait until the opponent's turn for that. They're down to 1 card. They're attacking us. Let's go ahead and cycle this. A Braid, that is a good draw. Kill this. And I think we've stabilized. Let's get back this aerial responder so that we can start buffering our life total. Could have got the Angel too. Guess maybe it was better since it was bigger. And don't know if they're running fumigates or anything like that. Guess we'll go ahead and put out Glorybringer and hold the rest of this stuff in hand. And that's the game. Alright, so overall this deck did not feel incredibly good to me. That being said, as I have already stated, this was my first time playing with it, and this is an incredibly small sample size of games, so I don't really know what conclusions to draw as of right now. Some people are definitely doing well with it because it is getting some 5.0 lists put up on MTG Goldfish, and my friend who gave me the list says that he does well with it, so maybe it was just variance or I was just playing it horribly. I mean, we do know that I misplayed a couple of times, one really bad misclick, but such is the way of life. The one conclusion that I think that I can draw about the deck after this series of matches is that I do not like Sarkhan. I think that he would be better as pretty much any other card. Chandra, more creatures, Scarab God would be great in this deck. He was just super unimpressive to me, so if I were to adjust the deck, that would be the first cut. Sarkhan gone, something better in. And as always, a link to the deck list will be in the description below if you would like to tune and adjust for yourselves, maybe make this work a bit better than I was able to make it work. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know in the comments and by leaving a like below. It really does help tremendously. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.